Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our afternoon center. On Monday, we studied the question, how do people work with animals? Additionally, on Monday, we also looked at the long E spelling pattern, which is EY and Y. Both the EY and the Y make the E sound. Repeat after me, E. Before we go into our nonfiction text to further explore our essential question, let's take a look at practicing chunking our long E words. So you can see here, I have a list of long E words with our Y and EY. Our job today is we want to try reading the first 3 columns. So how we're going to do that is, first I'm going to read the words to you. Afterwards, you're going to read the words along with me. Then I'm going to give you some time, and you can also freeze the video for this time, to read those 3 columns by yourself. Alright, so teacher's going to go first. Here we go. Study, study. Puppy, puppy. Baggy, baggy. Sky. It's from last week, our long I pattern. Really. Buggy, buggy. Night, night. Because remember, IGH goes I. Baby. City. Puppy. Bowl. Now, you saw how I took my time and I went over each letter so I could decode the word. Let's see if we can try that together now. Study. Puppy. Baggy. Sky. Really. Key. Buggy. Night. Baby. City. Puppy. Bowl. Now that I've read it and you've read it with me, it's your turn to read the 3 columns by yourself. Remember, feel free to pause the video if you need extra time. All right, now that we've gone over those long E, EY, and Y, it's time for us to dive into our new book. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at a nonfiction text. Can we say nonfiction? Nonfiction. Nonfiction means that it's a text about real people, places, and things. Now first, I'm going to read this text to you, Teach a Dog. In your Google Classroom, I have created a copy of this text that you can follow along as I read. So let's go to our next page. You can see I have my table of contents with my chapters. And additionally, over here, I have some key vocabulary words, or I like to say high frequency words that we're going to see quite often. So repeat after me. Clever. Found. Hard. Near. Signal. Woman. Would. Right. Now that we've gone over those high frequency words, we're going to start the text. Remember, teacher's going to read it to you first, and we're not going to do the whole text today. We're just going to do chapter 1, which is, as you can see here, is how do you teach a dog? And we're going to start on page 2. So here we go. Chapter 1. How do you teach a dog? Dogs love to play. Use my finger, that would be easier. Dogs make great pets. They follow rules if people teach them. Would you like to be a dog teacher? It's hard work, but it's fun. If a dog behaves well, give a small treat. Then say, good dog. Give lots of love, you will get love back. You see in the purple it says, dogs love to play. And this dog knows the rules. All right, So now we're going to go on to our next page. Right here. This girl pats the dog after it sits. Sit, stay, come. These are key words a dog should know. First, teach a dog to sit. Gently, notice that L-Y, push the dog's back and down and say, sit. If it stands up, say, sit. If it sits, give it a treat. Now, teach the dog to stay. Have the dog sit. Put out your hand and say, stay. Next, walk a few steps away. If the dog stays, give her a treat. Then say, come. If she comes, give her a treat for being so clever. Now notice as I was reading, I was tracking with my fingers. That's what I expect you to do when you're going to be reading by yourself. So I'm going to go to my next page, and that's chapter 2, and we're not going to touch that yet. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go on over to back to chapter 1. And here is your job. Your job is to do 2 things. Number 1, first thing you're going to do is you're going to reread the text, pages 2, pages 3, and hold on a moment, and pages 4 and 5. So basically 2 through 5. You're first going to read it with a whisper voice. If you have trouble coming up with some of the words, such as gently, think about our phonics rules. Just like I did, I know G-E soft like a J. I know N goes then T-L-E, gently. Other words such as st and stands. Notice how I'm breaking it apart. By breaking it apart, I can better understand what I read. If the first time it doesn't make sense, try a different way and see. Maybe that EA, for example, doesn't go because tret doesn't make sense. But if I do treat, that would make sense. So be careful and try out different ways and see if it makes sense. Now, after you whisper read to yourself, you're going to go back to page 2 in your packet that I included in your Google Classroom. And I'm going to have you read that text, pages 2 through 5, once again, but you're going to read it aloud. And I want you to really focus on that fluency, meaning that you are reading in a smooth manner. All right, thank you so much for being in my center. See you guys later.